Science is a way of knowing the natural world. In fact, the word science derives from a Latin root meaning to know. There are two main approaches, discovery science and hypothesis-driven science. Scientists, they often use a combination of these approaches to explore nature. Inductive and deductive reasoning they're like approaches to logical thinking. So, inductive reasoning, that starts with specific observations and it moves toward broader generalizations. So, if you're someone who's like me, who sees the parts of things and then works toward a whole, you use inductive reasoning a lot. So, if you observe all the swans that you've seen are white, you might conclude that all swans are white. That's inductive reasoning. However, this conclusion may not always be true because inductive reasoning relies on probability rather than certainty. Kind of like how it's probable my husband will make coffee in the morning, but it is definitely not certain. All right, moving on. Deductive reasoning, on the other hand, it starts with like a general statement or a general rule and applies that general rule to specific cases to reach a certain conclusion. For example, if all mammals have lungs and a whale is a mammal, you can deduce that whales have lungs. Deductive reasoning provides certainty, but it only provides that as long as the premises, the assumptions, are all met or all true. So, inductive reasoning is more like discovery or exploratory, and it builds theories, whereas deductive reasoning tests theories and confirms specific outcomes. You will be doing deductive reasoning in our labs. Both of these are valuable tools in this class. Discovery science is the process of describing nature without any preconceived expectations. For example, Jane Goodall studied the social life of chimpanzees mainly by spending thousands of hours in the field watching them. You do this in your own life when, for example, you walk into a restaurant and note each of the different menu items available for selection. Like Jane Goodall, you are actually performing discovery science. You're observing the world around you and discovering what it contains. In discovery science, general principles are sometimes inferred from a set of specific observations. For example, Jane Goodall observed that some chimps strip twigs and then poke them into termite holes. From this, she concluded that humans are not the only animals to make tools. In your real-life example, after you note all of the food choices available in the restaurant, you may conclude that vegetarian options are rare. Many important scientific advances, such as the description and classification of organisms and the mapping of the human genome, have resulted from the discovery approach to scientific inquiry.